Love, a precious gift, but also a challenging journey. Have you ever felt lost in your relationships? Or wondered how to build a lasting and happy love? Have you ever met a woman who seems to turn heads without even trying? She's not the loudest, the flashiest, or the most traditionally beautiful, but there's something about her that draws people in effortlessly. Her presence is calm yet magnetic, soft yet powerful. That kind of allure isn't luck, it's a reflection of the habits she practices every day. In this video, we'll uncover 6 powerful habits that make a woman naturally irresistible to men, not through manipulation, but through authentic confidence, self-respect, and emotional depth. If you're ready to step into your true feminine power, this is where it begins. Welcome to the channel, Sophia's Knowledge, and my name is Sophia. This is where we share lessons about love, practical experiences, and secrets to building strong relationships. In today's video, Sophia will reveal to you 6 habits that will make you naturally attractive to men if you are looking for a deeper understanding of love and how to develop relationships. Don't miss this video. Before watching the video, find a quiet space and put on your headphones so you can feel every word I share. Relax and enjoy this journey with me. Are you ready to embark on this journey? Let's go. Habit 1. Love yourself deeply. The true foundation of irresistible attraction. There is an undeniable truth when it comes to attraction, one that goes far beyond physical beauty or surface-level charm. The most naturally attractive women are not necessarily the ones with perfect features or flawless style. They are the women who have cultivated a deep, unwavering love for themselves. There is something magnetic about a woman who doesn't just like herself, but genuinely cherishes her own soul. Loving yourself deeply is not vanity. It is not arrogance. It is the quiet strength of knowing who you are, honoring that identity, and refusing to let the world diminish your light. It's the foundation of your self-worth, the root of your confidence, and the source of your unique, undeniable glow. When a woman walks into a room with self-love radiating from within, people notice. Men notice. And not just in a passing glance, but in a way that lingers. True self-love goes far beyond pampering yourself or putting on a beautiful outfit. It's not just about skincare routines or bubble baths. It's about how you treat yourself in your darkest moments. It's about choosing forgiveness over self-blame. It's about standing up for yourself when your boundaries are crossed, even if your voice shakes. And it's about making decisions from a place of respect for your heart, not out of fear or desperation. When you love yourself deeply, you don't settle for crumbs. You don't chase people who ignore your worth. You don't try to earn love by sacrificing your own needs or values. You know that you deserve a connection that honors who you are, not one that constantly makes you question it. This kind of self-respect is incredibly attractive because it signals emotional maturity, strength, and self-awareness. Men are drawn to women who have an inner world that is full and rich. A woman who is emotionally whole does not need someone to complete her. She invites connection, but she does not cling to it. She shares her life with openness, but not from a place of emptiness. This independence and emotional stability create a sense of security and peace that men deeply admire, even if they can't fully explain why. Loving yourself also means taking care of your body not because you hate it, but because you appreciate it. You eat well because you value your energy. You move your body because you want to feel alive. You rest when needed because you respect your limits. These daily acts of self-respect accumulate over time, building a life that reflects your inner love. But most importantly, loving yourself deeply affects how you show up in relationships. You no longer tolerate emotional manipulation or inconsistency. You no longer shrink to make others feel comfortable. You no longer beg for attention, approval, or affection. Instead, you become someone who inspires others to rise to your level, not because you demand it, but because your presence silently commands it. This self-love doesn't mean you're never insecure or afraid. It means you are brave enough to face those fears with compassion. It means when you feel unlovable, you remind yourself of your worth. It means you treat yourself with kindness when the world is harsh. And this inner resilience is one of the most attractive qualities a person can have. A woman who loves herself deeply exudes a quiet confidence. She doesn't have to boast or prove herself. She doesn't chase love, she attracts it effortlessly. Her standards are high, not because she's difficult, but because she knows her value. She brings peace, not chaos. She creates space, not pressure. She listens to her intuition, not external noise. If you want to be more attractive to men, start by becoming deeply attractive to yourself. Look into the mirror and see someone worthy of love, not because of her appearance or achievements, but because of her heart. Speak to yourself with kindness. Celebrate your growth. Learn from your pain. Give yourself the love you may have once begged others for. Because here's the truth, the more you love yourself, the less you need validation from others. And paradoxically, that's what makes you more desirable. People are drawn to those who are at peace with themselves. A man may be captivated by your looks, but he will stay for your energy, your self-respect, and the way you make him feel when he's with you. So let loving yourself become your daily ritual. Let it guide your choices, your relationships, and your path. You are not asking too much by wanting to be loved deeply, just make sure you're the first one to give that love to yourself. When you become a woman who truly loves herself, you stop looking for someone to save you. You stop believing that your happiness lies in someone else's hands. You become your own home. Your own safe place. Your own source of joy. And that, more than anything else, is what makes you undeniably, irresistibly attractive. What do you think of this lesson? Have you applied something similar in your life? Please share your thoughts or stories in the comments. I will read and respond quickly. Thank you for your attention. Let's continue together. Habit 2. Keep a positive and optimistic mindset. The energy that draws him in without a word. There's something incredibly magnetic about a woman who carries light within her. She may not say much, but her energy speaks volumes. Her presence uplifts others. Her smile disarms even the coldest hearts. Her optimism acts like a gentle flame that warms every space she enters. This is not an act. It is not about being cheerful all the time. It's a mindset, cultivated, intentional, and deeply powerful. A positive and optimistic mindset is one of the most attractive qualities a woman can possess. Not because life is always kind to her, but because she chooses to see beauty even in the struggle. She's not naive. She's wise. She knows that bitterness and negativity are heavy burdens to carry. So she lets go, not to escape reality, but to rise above it. Her choice to remain hopeful in a cynical world is a quiet form of strength, and that strength is magnetic. Men, whether they admit it or not, are drawn to women who make them feel good about life. In a world full of stress, anxiety, and emotional clutter, a woman who radiates peace and positivity becomes a rare and valuable presence. She doesn't have to be perfect. She doesn't have to have all the answers. What matters is that her mindset makes life feel lighter, not heavier. Her energy is the kind you want to come home to after a long day. A woman with a positive mindset doesn't ignore her problems. She just doesn't let them define her. She understands that setbacks are part of the journey. Instead of spiraling into self-pity, she asks herself, what can I learn from this? She looks at her pain not as punishment, but as a path to growth. That kind of inner resilience is deeply attractive because it shows maturity, emotional depth, and perspective. Optimism doesn't mean toxic positivity. It's not about pretending everything is fine when it's not. It's about acknowledging the truth, but still choosing to believe in better days. It's about waking up and deciding that no matter what happens, you'll meet the day with grace. It's about not letting circumstances steal your joy. That's a level of emotional intelligence that very few master, and men instinctively recognize it when they see it. One of the most beautiful things about an optimistic woman is the way she communicates. She doesn't gossip, complain, or dwell on drama. Her words are intentional. She uplifts others. She gives sincere compliments. She listens with genuine interest. She celebrates your wins without jealousy. In conversation, she's not just talking, she's connecting. That emotional safety makes people want to open up to her, trust her, and stay close to her. She also has the rare ability to laugh at herself. She doesn't take life too seriously. Her lightheartedness isn't childish, it's freeing. Men find comfort in her presence because she brings ease, not pressure. Her positivity doesn't feel forced. It feels earned. You know she's been through storms, but somehow, she still carries the sun within her. That's what makes her unforgettable. A positive mindset also shapes how she sees love and relationships. She doesn't go into love expecting to be disappointed. She goes in with trust, courage, and hope. She believes in the good in people, but she's not blind to red flags. She just doesn't let past heartbreaks harden her. She learns, evolves, and loves better. Her belief in love itself makes her a safe space for someone who wants to build something real. Men are naturally drawn to women who help them see the world in a better light. They admire women who can talk about dreams more than fears, possibilities more than problems. A woman who can look at the chaos of life and still say, "I believe something good is coming," is the kind of woman who stays in a man's heart long after she leaves the room. Her presence becomes a source of inspiration, and her mindset becomes contagious. But positivity is not just for others, it transforms her own life too. A woman who chooses optimism lives longer, laughs louder, and loves deeper. Her perspective allows her to recover faster from failure. It helps her take risks, explore new opportunities, and stay grounded during uncertainty. She doesn't just survive, she thrives. And that vibrancy is the kind of energy that men crave but rarely find. Building a positive and optimistic mindset is a daily practice. It's about what you feed your mind, what you read, who you spend time with, how you speak to yourself when no one is listening. A woman who guards her mental space as fiercely as she guards her heart will naturally radiate something rare and precious. She becomes the kind of woman who doesn't chase love, she attracts it. If you want to be truly attractive in a way that doesn't fade with time, work on your mindset. Let go of bitterness. Let go of the need to always be right. Release the grip of negativity. Choose to see the good, even when it's hidden. Speak with kindness. Think with hope. Move with lightness. Because a woman who walks through life with a hopeful heart, an open mind, and a positive spirit will never go unnoticed. Her energy speaks louder than any words. And for the right man, that energy is irresistible. If you are still watching the video, do not hesitate to comment continue. Leave your thoughts and questions below in the comment section. I look forward to hearing your opinions. And do not forget to like and subscribe to the channel so that Sophia has more motivation to create more good and meaningful videos. Let's continue together. Habit 3. Confidence without arrogance. The quiet power that captivates him. There's a distinct kind of beauty that doesn't scream for attention but commands it effortlessly. It's not flashy or loud. It doesn't need validation. It simply exists, calm, grounded, and undeniable. That's the beauty of a woman who is confident without being arrogant. Her presence speaks louder than any outfit, louder than any words. She knows who she is, and that quiet certainty makes her magnetic. Confidence is not about being the most outspoken person in the room. It's not about being dominant or demanding. True confidence is subtle. It's a calm presence. It's the way a woman carries herself. The way she looks people in the eye. The way she stands tall even when no one is watching. She doesn't need to announce her worth because it radiates from within her. What sets confident women apart is their sense of inner security. They are not trying to prove anything. They are not in competition with anyone. They are not afraid to shine, but they never dim someone else's light to do so. This balance is what makes them so attractive. Men notice this kind of woman immediately. She doesn't just enter a room, she owns it, without ever having to say so. Confidence without arrogance also shows in how she treats others. She doesn't talk down to people. She doesn't need to make others feel small to feel big. In fact, she uplifts those around her. She knows that true strength lies in kindness. She is assertive without being aggressive. She can express her opinions clearly but with grace. This emotional intelligence sets her apart from women who mistake loudness for power. A woman with this kind of confidence is not easily shaken. When someone criticizes her, she doesn't crumble. She listens, reflects, and responds with poise. She understands that not everyone will like her, and that's okay. Her worth is not dependent on approval. She's not afraid to be misunderstood, because she knows her truth. That quiet courage is far more powerful than arrogance ever could be. Men are deeply drawn to this energy. They admire a woman who knows what she brings to the table and isn't afraid to eat alone if necessary. She doesn't chase. She attracts. She doesn't beg. She walks away from anything that doesn't align with her values. And she does it all without drama, without resentment, and without needing anyone's permission. This kind of confidence also shows up in how she loves. She doesn't lose herself in a relationship. She doesn't shrink to fit into someone else's life. She shows up fully, with her whole heart, but she never compromises her self-respect. She knows that love should never cost her dignity. Her confidence gives her the strength to love freely but walk away when she is no longer respected. What's more, she isn't threatened by other women. She celebrates them. She understands that someone else's beauty or success does not diminish her own. That kind of security is rare and incredibly attractive. Men may be impressed by looks, but they fall in love with substance. And nothing is more substantial than a woman who is comfortable in her own skin. Confidence without arrogance also means she's not afraid of growth. She doesn't pretend to know everything. She asks questions. She seeks feedback. She's open to change. She can admit when she's wrong without shame. That humility is what makes her confidence so real, because it's rooted in self-awareness, not ego. She also takes care of herself, not for attention, but out of self-respect. She dresses in a way that reflects her essence. She moves with intention. She speaks with clarity. Her energy says, "I know who I am," and people respond to that. Men are drawn to her not because she demands attention, but because her presence commands it naturally. Confidence without arrogance is the art of being proud but not boastful. Strong but not hardened. Soft but not weak. It's walking the line between humility and self-belief. It's knowing your worth but not needing to shout it from the rooftops. It's the ability to sit in silence and still be heard. That's real power. If you want to cultivate this kind of confidence, start by knowing yourself. Know your strengths, your flaws, your desires, and your limits. Own your story, the wins and the wounds. Speak kindly to yourself. Set boundaries. Honor your feelings. Learn to stand alone, not because you have to, but because you can. That's the foundation of unshakable self-assurance. And remember, confidence is not a destination. It's a daily choice. Some days it will be loud. Other days it will be quiet. But the key is to keep showing up for yourself, no matter what. That consistency builds trust with yourself, and that self-trust is the heartbeat of confidence. Men are not just looking for beauty. They're looking for emotional depth, presence, and authenticity. When you walk into the world as a woman who doesn't seek approval, who isn't afraid to be herself, who treats others with grace and herself with respect, you become unforgettable. So cultivate that kind of confidence. The kind that doesn't just make people look, but makes them stay. The kind that doesn't need to impress, but inspires. The kind that doesn't dominate, but influences deeply. Because confidence, when paired with humility and kindness, becomes the most attractive force a woman can carry. Habit 4. Graceful communication and deep listening. The art that builds emotional connection. In a world where noise dominates, where people talk to respond rather than understand, a woman who communicates with grace and listens with intention becomes a rare gem. Her presence is calm, her voice is steady, and her energy is safe. She knows that words can either build bridges or burn them down. So she chooses each one with care, turning conversations into moments of connection rather than competition. Graceful communication is not about speaking perfectly. It's not about knowing the right thing to say every time. It's about speaking with awareness, honesty, and compassion. A woman who has mastered this art understands that how she speaks is just as important as what she says. Her tone is kind, her delivery is thoughtful, and her message is clear. She doesn't manipulate with words. She empowers with them. She avoids drama not because she is afraid of conflict, but because she values peace more. When tension arises, she addresses it with maturity. She doesn't yell. She doesn't belittle. She asks questions. She listens with an open heart. She responds, not reacts. This emotional control is not weakness, it is strength. And it is incredibly attractive to men who are tired of chaos and long for clarity. Deep listening is her superpower. She doesn't just hear. She listens. She notices body language, tone, and silence. She pays attention not only to what is being said but to what is left unsaid. Her ability to make someone feel truly seen and heard is what sets her apart. In a world where most people feel invisible, she becomes unforgettable. Men crave this kind of connection, even if they don't always say it. A woman who listens deeply offers emotional safety. She creates a space where a man can be vulnerable without fear of judgment. This is not about fixing him or giving advice. It's about holding space, letting him express, and honoring his emotions. That level of presence is a rare gift, and one that men treasure deeply. A graceful communicator also knows how to disagree respectfully. She doesn't need to win every argument. She knows when to pause. She understands that being right is not more important than being kind. She uses her words to bring resolution, not resentment. Even in moments of frustration, she maintains her dignity. Her emotional intelligence shines not when things are easy, but when they are tense. This habit of graceful communication also reveals itself in the little things. The way she compliments others sincerely. The way she expresses gratitude. The way she uplifts with her words instead of criticizing. Her energy in conversation is not draining, it's energizing. People leave interactions with her feeling lighter, not heavier. And men, especially, find comfort in her presence. She also knows when to be silent. Silence, for her, is not uncomfortable. It's powerful. She knows that sometimes, listening is more valuable than speaking. She doesn't fill space with unnecessary words. She's not afraid of stillness. She knows that deep connection often happens in the pauses between words. Her silence is not emptiness, it's presence. In relationships, this kind of communication is gold. It prevents misunderstandings. It deepens intimacy. It builds trust. A woman who communicates with grace makes her partner feel respected, valued, and understood. And that emotional connection is what keeps a man invested, not just physically, but mentally and spiritually. But this habit is not just for romantic relationships. It transforms every area of her life. She becomes a better friend, a wiser leader, a more compassionate human being. Her words carry weight because they are rooted in empathy. Her presence is requested, not tolerated. People seek her advice, not because she's loud, but because she's wise. To develop this kind of communication, one must first cultivate inner calm. When your mind is at peace, your words reflect that peace. When you are secure within yourself, you don't need to control conversations. You listen because you want to understand, not because you are waiting for your turn to speak. This is what emotional maturity looks like. It also requires self-awareness. Knowing your triggers. Managing your tone. Practicing mindfulness before reacting. The most graceful communicators are not born that way, they choose to be that way every single day. They practice patience. They pause before they speak. They choose love over ego, even in difficult moments. If you want to become this kind of woman, start by being intentional with your words. Ask yourself before you speak, is it true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? Practice deep listening. Focus on understanding, not responding. Be fully present. Put your phone down. Look into the eyes of the person speaking. Let them feel that you are truly there. Because the woman who listens with her heart, speaks with her soul, and communicates with grace becomes someone unforgettable. She becomes the woman who men feel safe with, drawn to, and inspired by. She doesn't demand attention, she earns it. She doesn't chase validation, she radiates wisdom. Her voice becomes a soft strength in a world full of noise. And that, more than anything, is what builds the kind of connection that lasts. Habit 5. Lifelong learning and self-development. The silent force that makes you unforgettable. There is something incredibly captivating about a woman who is always evolving. She never settles for the version of herself from yesterday. She seeks knowledge not just to impress others, but to expand her world. Her curiosity is constant. Her mind is alive. Her heart is open. And that commitment to lifelong learning is one of the most powerful forms of attraction. While beauty may catch a man's eye, it is intellect and growth that hold his attention. A woman who is dedicated to personal development becomes more fascinating with time. She has stories to tell, perspectives to share, and dreams that stretch far beyond superficial goals. She is not defined by what she has, but by who she is becoming. This kind of woman doesn't see learning as a chore. She sees it as a privilege. Whether through books, podcasts, conversations, or experiences, she is always feeding her mind. She understands that every moment in life, whether painful or joyful, is a chance to grow. She is not afraid to ask questions, challenge her own beliefs, or admit when she's wrong. That humility is not weakness, it is a sign of strength. Self-development is also about emotional growth. She works on understanding herself, her triggers, her patterns, her desires. She invests time in healing, reflecting, and becoming more emotionally intelligent. This inner work allows her to show up in relationships with awareness and authenticity. She doesn't blame others for her pain. She takes responsibility for her healing. And that level of self-accountability is incredibly attractive to men who seek a mature, conscious partner. A woman who is committed to growth is never stagnant. She is full of passion, ideas, and purpose. Her conversations are stimulating. Her presence is energizing. She talks about things that matter. She inspires those around her not by preaching, but simply by being an example of what's possible when you keep growing. Men are drawn to this type of woman not just because she is smart, but because she is alive. Her mind is open, her heart is wise, and her life has direction. She may not have all the answers, but she is always seeking better questions. Her depth invites deeper connection. Her ambition inspires respect. She becomes more than a partner, she becomes a muse. This habit also makes her incredibly resilient. When life throws challenges at her, she doesn't collapse. She learns. She adapts. She finds the lesson in the loss and the gift in the struggle. That mindset of growth turns obstacles into stepping stones. It turns pain into power. And it gives her a kind of inner strength that no one can take away. She doesn't fear change, she welcomes it. She understands that discomfort is often the sign of transformation. While others resist growth, she leans into it. She upgrades her beliefs, habits, and mindset regularly. This evolution is not for anyone else. It's for her. She wants to live fully, love deeply, and become her highest self. And that intention shapes everything about her, from the way she thinks, to the way she loves, to the way she handles conflict. She brings depth to every relationship because she has depth within herself. She brings new ideas to the table. She challenges her partner to grow. Not by force, but by example. And the right man sees that as a gift, not a threat. A woman who prioritizes growth also sets high standards, not out of arrogance, but because she knows what she brings. She doesn't settle for relationships that stunt her evolution. She seeks connection that nurtures it. She wants a partner who supports her journey, not one who feels intimidated by it. And that clarity protects her from wasting time on people who cannot meet her energy. But she is not only a student, she is also a teacher. She shares what she learns. She uplifts others. She empowers her friends. She contributes to conversations with depth and insight. She doesn't hoard wisdom, she passes it on. Her growth becomes a blessing to everyone she touches. If you want to cultivate this kind of lifelong learning, start with your curiosity. Read a new book. Take a class. Learn a new language. Ask deeper questions. Reflect on your experiences. Journal your thoughts. Feed your mind like you feed your body. Make growth your lifestyle, not just a temporary phase. And remember, you don't need to know everything to be valuable. You just need to be willing to keep learning. Progress, not perfection, is the goal. The more you grow, the more confident you become, not because you know it all, but because you've seen how far you've come. Men respect women who are going somewhere in life. A woman who is building something, whether a career, a skill, or a stronger version of herself, is endlessly inspiring. She doesn't chase attention. She builds a life so rich, others are naturally drawn to it. She becomes the woman a man doesn't just admire, he wants to grow with her. So choose to grow. Choose to learn. Choose to evolve every single day. Because the woman who never stops growing becomes the woman no one can forget. Habit 6. Keeping smart and healthy distance. The elegant balance that makes you irresistible. There is a mysterious allure in a woman who knows how to be close, yet never clings. She is warm, yet not overwhelming. She shows interest, but never loses herself in the process. She gives love, but never forgets her own value. This delicate balance, of intimacy and independence, is what makes her magnetic. It's not just about playing hard to get. It's about having emotional intelligence and self-respect. Keeping a smart and healthy distance doesn't mean being cold or unavailable. It means having a strong sense of self. A woman who practices this habit knows that space is not a threat to love, it's a vital ingredient of it. She understands that true connection doesn't come from being constantly present, but from being meaningfully present. She's not afraid of silence, solitude, or time apart. In fact, she embraces them. Men are naturally drawn to women who are emotionally independent. A woman who has her own world, her own rhythm, and her own passions is endlessly intriguing. She doesn't need a man to complete her life, she invites him into the fullness of it. That's why he feels honored to be with her. He doesn't feel trapped or suffocated. He feels chosen. This kind of woman does not fear losing someone, because she never loses herself. She gives love without attachment. She enjoys intimacy, but not dependency. Her energy says, I want you, but I don't need you to survive. And that distinction creates a powerful sense of security. It's the kind of energy that keeps a man curious, engaged, and committed, because he knows he is not her whole world. He is a part of it, not the center of it. Keeping smart distance also means setting boundaries, clearly and lovingly. She knows what she will and will not tolerate. She's not afraid to walk away from disrespect, dishonesty, or emotional manipulation. She doesn't stay in toxic dynamics out of fear. Her sense of self-worth is too strong for that. Her ability to maintain distance when necessary isn't a game. It's self-preservation. She knows that constant closeness can breed complacency. That overavailability can sometimes lead to underappreciation. So she maintains a rhythm in her relationships that includes both connection and separation. She allows space for longing to grow. She allows mystery to breathe. And in doing so, she keeps the relationship alive, not out of fear, but out of wisdom. This smart distance also shows up in the way she handles communication. She doesn't rush to respond to every message. She doesn't feel the need to explain herself constantly. She speaks when she has something meaningful to say. She allows the man to miss her presence. She understands that absence, when used wisely, can be a powerful reminder of value. Men often find themselves captivated by this energy. They feel drawn to her not because she plays games, but because she values herself. She respects her own time, energy, and peace. She doesn't abandon her life to be with someone. She makes space for love, but she never sacrifices herself in the process. This balance is especially important in the early stages of dating. Many women make the mistake of giving too much, too soon. They drop everything. They become too available. And in doing so, they unknowingly lose their mystery and their power. A woman who keeps a healthy distance avoids this. She allows the relationship to unfold naturally. She lets the man pursue. She gives, but she also receives. Keeping distance doesn't mean withholding affection or playing hard to get forever. It means creating a relationship dynamic where both people maintain their individuality. Where love is given freely, but boundaries are respected. Where space is used to recharge, not to punish. And where silence is not a threat, but a sanctuary. This woman is not afraid of being alone. In fact, she cherishes her solitude. She uses her time alone to reflect, grow, and reconnect with herself. She doesn't depend on external validation to feel worthy. Her self-approval is enough. That's why when she chooses someone, it means something. She's not looking to fill a void. She's offering something whole. Her smart distance also teaches the man how to treat her. It shows him that she values herself and that he must too. It creates healthy tension, the kind that builds desire, not distance. It keeps the relationship from becoming stagnant or one-sided. And it ensures that both partners continue to show up with effort and intention. To cultivate this habit, a woman must first build a strong relationship with herself. She must know her worth. She must have a life she loves, outside of romance. She must be confident enough to say no, to walk away, and to wait for something aligned. She must let go of the fear that distance means disconnection. Because in truth, distance, when used wisely, creates clarity. Men fall in love with a woman who loves herself enough to walk alone. Who can give space without guilt? Who can receive love without losing herself? That's the kind of woman who becomes unforgettable. Because she doesn't just offer love. She offers presence, peace, and power, all in perfect balance. So if you want to be the woman who draws love instead of chasing it, learn the art of keeping smart distance. Be close, but not clinging. Be available, but not overexposed. Let your independence shine. Let your silence speak. Let your boundaries protect you. Because the woman who masters this balance becomes the kind of woman a man never wants to let go. Conclusion. True attractiveness doesn't come from flawless features or a perfect body. It comes from the way you live, the way you treat yourself, and the energy you bring into the world. It's the quiet confidence, the inner light, and the depth of your presence that draw people in, and keep them there. A truly captivating woman is not the loudest in the room. She doesn't need to chase or convince. Her self-love speaks louder than her words. Her positive mindset uplifts. Her confidence is steady, never arrogant. She communicates with grace, listens deeply, keeps growing, and knows how to maintain healthy space that inspires respect. Men may be initially drawn to outer beauty, but what makes them stay, what makes them fall deeply and completely, is the way a woman makes them feel. It's her emotional depth, her wisdom, her balance. When you live by these 6 habits, you don't just attract love, you elevate it. You invite connection that is rooted in truth, respect, and mutual admiration. And the best part? You don't have to change who you are to be loved. You simply have to become more of who you truly are. When you embrace your worth, nurture your mind and spirit, and walk through life with quiet power, attraction becomes effortless. You stop chasing love, because love finds you. So grow into that woman. The woman who stands tall in her truth, who brings peace with her presence, and who becomes unforgettable, not because she tries to be, but because she already is. Thank you for watching today's video. I'm so excited to share my lessons about love and relationships with you. I hope you learned something new and can apply it to your life. If you find the video useful, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next videos. Thank you for always accompanying and supporting me. Have a great day and don't forget to love yourself a lot.